Hey guys, this video we're going to try to do a bumper repair here. This is a rear bumper for my Ford Focus 2015. So as you can see, it's been hit. There's few damages to it, and we're going to go ahead and look at it right here. You can see there's a cut, crack, and there's another cut about 4 inches long. There's cut here, 4 to 5 inch cut, and there's a little hole that's been poked over here. There's another hole that's been poked over here. There's a few scratches. So we got several options here. We could replace the bumper, but this one costs about $550 to $600 on a used one, and brand new ones reach up to close to $1,000 from Ford dealership. So I've decided to try and repair this. May take 2 to 3 hours total time with the paint finishing. So the idea here is to, using a locking plier, we're going to clip this one and this one as well. We're going to sand off the back and apply some glue to it. This one here, using a heat gun, we're going to push this one back. Using a heat gun, we're going to also straighten this part here, bend it slightly, and we're going to sand off the surface. I also got this plastic welding kit from Harbor Freight for $17 plus tax. So we'll get to work. Let's do it. I've decided to use a plastic welder and weld this cut, about a 5-inch cut, instead of using a plastic glue. Looked at some plastic glue options. Here's a JB Weld plastic bonder. This is world's strongest bond. So I had two options. I was split between using a plastic glue versus just weld it. Plastic welder, using a plastic welder. So actually, if you weld it with a plastic welder, and it's going to be more durable long term, might last 10 plus years versus 3, 4, 5 years versus with a plastic glue. So what we're going to do is I'm going to use this plastic welder kit, and it comes with extra plastic sticks to use to weld, and this one's actually my own. I was just putting it there. And this is a wire brush. What we're gonna do is we're gonna start welding it from the inside, and I hope you can see it here. I didn't take the bumper off because it was just going to be easier to work on it while the other side is still hanging on the vehicle. I'm going to wire brush this. Basically, the idea is to clean it a little bit, and we're going to start welding it after this. And there's another little poked hole at the bottom. And as you can see here at the bottom end, I'm using a locking plier to hold the seam together. And next we're going to go from the inside and start welding it, putting it back together. Okay guys, we're going to start after some wire brushing, cleaning this piece from behind the bumper, and the idea is to remove dirt and dust and debris. We're going to go ahead and using this plastic stick and a plastic welder. I'm going to start welding this. Okay, it's working. Okay, this might take some time. I can smell the plastic melting already. Yeah, and I apologize if the angle isn't perfect. but I think you can see it here. I was trying to get the best angle. Okay, so that's how we do it. If we didn't use the plastic stick, we were gonna weld it straight on the bumper itself, so that would actually spread the bumper thin, and the welding result wouldn't be as strong as versus using the plastic stick. As you can see, it serves as a glue and also bonding the plastic together. Okay, we'll go kind of zigzag formation up and down. Press it a little bit harder so that some of that melted plastic goes inside the crack and kind of bridges the gap. Use some more. Just keep at it. Yeah, if this bumper was $100, I would have replaced it, but they quoted me $600 on a used one, same silver color. So I decided the damage was kind of in the medium type damage. So I decided to fix it myself. It's like playing around with a whipped cream or a little piece of cake. Take some time. When you're doing it, don't rush it, just take your time. It doesn't have to look perfect, doesn't have to look pretty. It's going to be on the inside of the bumper. So yeah, we always start about ½ an inch extra where it starts to prevent excess damage. Further cracking in the future. With this plastic welding, you can always go back and forth, kind of correct it. That's no problem. Okay, right about the top is the ending portion, right about here. So we have to seal that part. Yeah, you can always look on the outside to determine where the crack is going, where it starts, where it begins and ends. Yeah, the melting temperatures on these plastic bumpers are like, imagine an oven, 400, 500 degrees, cooking pizza. That's about the melting point, but you want to melt it further because just a lower temperature melting isn't going to bond it strong, so you have to kind of fuse the plastic to plastic, fuse it together. Alright, so we'll just keep at it. I'm going to go ahead and pause the video and get back to it. So I've been at it for a couple more minutes. As you can see right over here, we're pretty much done with this part for now. And that little poked hole at the bottom, kind of touched up there. And this poked hole right over here, I started working on it as well, and we're going to finish that up from the inside right here. Put a little bit of plastic stick, kind of about an inch total, and we're going to finish. We kind of want to go ½ an inch across to the sides of the crack to strengthen the bond, the welding itself. Kind of spread it around, go to the sides, up and down, left and right. Be sure to do it slowly, go gentle. If you press it too hard, you may actually poke a hole on this bumper. So total work time might be about a couple hours, maybe extra hour to finish up with paint afterwards. Depends on the damage, of course. And as you can see, we're working on it, getting somewhere. And once we're done with this, the back of it, once we're done welding, we'll work on the front of the bumper, the surface. We'll sand off all the paint around the damaged area, and I've decided to weld the front part as well to strengthen the job, the welding. If it's just on one side, it's just not going to be as strong and durable versus if we weld it on both sides, the inside and outside. Alright, so after this, next we're gonna sand off all that paint on the surface of the bumper. So let's get to it. So I almost forgot about this little crack, the 1-inch crack right over here. So we're gonna, in order to hold it together, the crack there, I used this wire and a locking plier to kind of hold it together, and we're gonna weld it from the inside. And oh, it's kind of hard to see. As you can see, it's a bit hard to get to. Right over here, we're gonna go ahead and weld that as well. And then we're gonna start sanding off the paint. So next we're gonna go ahead and use sandpaper, 60 grit, to sand off all the paint, to remove all the paint. Even the primer, we'll try to get it down to a plastic, bare plastic, so that we can finish up welding the rest of these pieces, and then sand it off again, and then once it's fixed we can repaint the bumper. So we're going to be sanding off this area up to about right here where the damage is. We don't need to go further, just an inch, couple inches, so that we can blend in the paint later on. Okay, so next, once we sand it off, we're gonna start welding on the outside of the bumper. We'll just go nice and easy. Hope you can see it there. Alright, that's visible. Okay, we're just gonna work that 5-inch cut. Just gonna go zigzag here, up and down motion. It was a bit hard to strip paint off, the primer off, down to bare plastic. So we just got it down to primer, as you can see, roughly. And we have to finish the surface with a higher grit sandpaper, step by step, before we paint it to make it smooth. Smoothing the surface. And after this, we will have to use a little bit of Bondo fiberglass. Any plastic filler will work. But the flexible ones are like $60 for a quart, $70. So we'll just use a standard regular fiberglass Bondo. That should work as well. So we're gonna work on this cut. We're gonna patch up this one here, and we're gonna smoothen, weld it there too, plastic welding. Okay, that's good enough there. Just gotta be patient with this. Nice and easy. About good right there. We'll use some filler to finish that up as well. Alright, next we're just going to sand that off, smoothen the surface, and then apply Bondo filler. Alright guys, so next task is to make some filler, mixing filler with hardener. Outside temperature is about 50 degrees. It's getting late, winter, and we'll just have to do this real quick. Now this is a Bondo fiberglass filler. It's good for body. It's not the ideal for plastic, but it's good for fiberglass, which is somewhat plastic as well. Plastic compound. Since we don't have a lot of surface to work on, it's just 3-4 little parts. We're going to go ahead and use this filler. And the instructions on this one says you have about 3 to 4 minutes once you mix it up. We got to move fast. We don't have much time. And it's about a golf ball size with about 1.5 inches hardener, reddish pinkish color, and it's just about ready. Alright, we're gonna apply some filler in. Yeah, the lesson here is when you're working with a filler, you got to move quick. You've got about 3 minutes, based on my experience. 3 minutes, that's all it takes. It doesn't have to be perfect. You're gonna sand it off. You don't have to be perfectionistic and take forever. You got about 3 minutes to finish this up. Little piece there. Alright, that's about good. Mix it up and gotta apply some over here. Yeah, about a golf ball size filler was more than enough. Well, the rest will go to trash. Alright, so we covered that hole, this part here. That's about it. Just gotta smoothen this surface right here. You don't have to worry about uneven surfaces because we're gonna sand this off later. Alright, that's about it. So okay guys, here's the finished look of that bumper now. Basically I spent a couple hours sanding the surface with 80 grit, then 120, 220, then 320, 500, and then basically sprayed primer and then paint and then clear coat, and then wet sanded the clear coat after a couple of days, buffed the surface, the bumper, and polished it, cleaned it, and it's good to go. I think overall it doesn't look too bad. This is that Passenger side. I had to blend in the paint. It's not that noticeable actually. I think it turned out all right. So this bumper was around $550 used. Repairs cost me around $50-$60, about 5-6 hours of labor. And now we got the finished look, and the damaged bumper and the fuel tank cover. The fuel tank cover was replaced. The damaged quarter panel was pulled out. I painted that as well, so we're good to go. Thanks for watching, guys, and good luck with yours. Next time you can do your bumper repair yourself if it costs you more than $500 to replace it. Take care now.